Have you ever heard of Manning R. Johnson? I got this off of the Ian McKelvey thread there on Twitter. Manning Johnson was a Communist Party leader and a candidate for New York's 22nd Congressional District, and this was in the 20s. Check one. Yeah. Sing along. Do you want to dance? Do you want to dance? You're watching. It's the almighty Ramones. Rest in peace, all of them. Bro, you gotta dance now under the moonlight before they make it illegal. You guys realize that I have so many stories today that the show bed is, the one that I built, I believe, is 3 hours and 16 minutes. Like, John, 3:16. Go put on your rainbow wig and go to a golf tournament. You might get to see Tiger Woods' money paying for Ellen Nordegren's lifestyle. Check one, check two, check one, check two, check. Well, of course. Folks on Denver's top iconic rock, raging in the simulation. It's a Sunday. Sure, I could have done the show on Friday, but, something came up. I just didn't feel like doing it. No, the fake news was so fake, I found it impossibly funny.
You may find yourself living in a shotgun shack, and you may find yourself in another part of the world, and you may find yourself behind the wheel of a large automobile, and you may find yourself in a beautiful house with a beautiful wife, and you may ask yourself, well, how did I get here? Letting the days go by, let the water hold me down. Letting the days go by, water flowing underground into the blue ocean.
Trust me, the water is flowing underground. It's being collected by Nestle and then sold at a profit.
And you may ask yourself, how do I work this? And you may ask yourself, where is that large automobile? And you may tell yourself, this is not my beautiful house.
Check
You
one.
may tell yourself, this is not my beautiful wife. Letting the days
No, I have so many. You guys have no idea how many stories I have. Going left to right across my desktop is what you're going to get here on the first part of the pre-show. Gotta give DJ Phantom some props up top.
same as it ever was.
Little Ramones.
Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was.
My wife hates the Talking Heads.
Same
No,
as it
she no. And I found out this morning that I saw Billy Joel in 2019.
Water dissolving and water removing. There is water at the bottom of the ocean.
If you're wondering how close we are to the end of Western civilization, according to Breaking 911 there on Twitter, misogyny will now be recorded as a hate crime in England and Wales. Anything on Miss Andre? Anything? Seems fair. If that is not on Xi Jinping's How to Take Over the World by putting fentanyl in the water supply, I mean, letting CNN be on the air, isn't it doing equal damage? Don't you think that CNN is equal to poisoning the American water supply with fentanyl? Doesn't it have the same result? A bunch of dead zombies wandering around yelling at each other.
You may ask yourself, what is that beautiful house? You may ask yourself,
Despite China threats, Lithuania moves to recognize Uyghur genocide. All right. Most hurt LeBron James's shoe contract. Is that true?
what have I done?
According to the Mirror there in the UK, how about this for a headline? Man choked to death after friends force-fed him kebab while he slept on a train. I've called it a lot of things. But force-feeding kebabs has not been one of it. Norfolk police officer fired after investigation into Kyle Rittenhouse Defense Fund donation. No, send $10 to an American hero and lose your job.
Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was.
Do you realize the protests were so big yesterday in London that the BBC refused to cover it? Why would they not want that on camera? What narrative does that destroy? Masks? Vaccines? Inhumane? Send them to the Hague lockdowns? Wait, how long have I been on? Wait, hold on. How long has the show been going? Because if I say the word vaccine... Oh, there you go. No, Vaccine Waters is the politician that is going to save America. That's right. No, I'm taking my own vaccine. It is the Holy Spirit delivered via blessed wine. Thank you. Well, check that out. Raging in the Simulation on Denver's top iconic rock in the pre-show. It's a little Men at Work. You're moshing. The dog did it. Woman blames killing of an ex on the family dog. But what about the bullet holes? No, when I grew up, dogs would just have knife fights in the street in front of my house. Coronavirus second wave is set to kill 5,700 people a day in India. Swamped hospitals to turn away patients away while victims suffocate to death on wards amid an oxygen shortage, and anyone who delays the supplies is threatened with the death penalty. Yeah? Well, then why is there mannequins in these gurneys from this picture you keep using from 2020? Well, 6'4" and full of muscles, banning fracking only increases our dependence on foreign oil, jeopardizes good-paying jobs, and generates less state and local tax revenue to fund our schools, to fund healthcare. And firefighters, you tell Gavin we need less pandering to big tech donors. That's right, 6'4" and full of muscles, it's Caitlyn Jenner. You just gotta say what needs to be said when the song hits. I'm sorry, none of this is real. We live in a simulation now, Eat a salad. Go for a walk. Go get some sunshine. What I do, I create a virus that mimics the flu, which is cured with ultraviolet light and sunlight. And then what I do is I force everyone in their homes. More time in your house, less time outside. Less vitamin D, less sunshine, less exercise, more disease. Who does that help? Kim Kardashian applauds President Joe Biden for having the courage to acknowledge the Armenian genocide. This has been a long journey, according to the dailymail.co.uk. Do you realize how triggering it was for Joe Biden to acknowledge the Armenian genocide? It's so bad, Cenk Uygur just had an anti-mask rant on Twitter. You better run, you better take cover, you jerk. Insane moment. Sleeping nurse springs up in the back of an Uber and savages the driver. That's according to 2fab.com. He's got his neck bit off. Woman came out of it. If you don't think right now they're just gonna, your cell phone is gonna ring. No, you're gonna get a text message. It's gonna have a word on it, and then it's gonna trigger that mRNA inside of your body. And the next thing you know, you're gonna be standing socially distanced in line to see a Milli Vanilli concert. Failed Times Square subway bomber sentenced to life in prison plus 30 years. Take that. I wonder if Ted Kaczynski will refuse to read his manifesto as well. Is this do we get a commercial now? DJ Phantom, what are you sending us? Woman serving 60 years in prison for killing her ex-husband in 2014 blamed her death on the dog. Already read this. Oh, I get to delete that. I don't know what these stories are. If I like the headline, it goes in the order, and then the order is how we read them. And if I do it twice, I'm sorry. What do you want me to do? That's why it's not illegal yet to read the news live and have an opinion of it. So I find headlines that I find entertaining. I do have a simple mind. Thank you for pointing that out. On Denver's top iconic rock. Dude, if this is not a weightlifting montage from an outtake of Cobra. Do you don't think Marion Cabretti is there? He's shining his 45. Get it? Arab government banning pornography. Here's how it's working out. That's according to Harrods.com. Nah, sorry. DJ Phantom swung on and a miss. How dare you? It doesn't take much. Oh, hold on. You'll learn how to use your damn system. Hold on. Let's do this. Raging in the simulation. Well, you may be wrong, you may be right.
Friday night I crashed your party. Saturday I said I'm sorry. Sunday came and trashed me out again. I was only having fun, wasn't hurting anyone, and we all enjoyed the weekend for a change.
Heaven forbid you enjoy your weekend. It's America.
Ended in the combat zone. I walked through Bedford style alone. Even rode my motorcycle in the rain.
Shout out to, did you see the footage? Blood clot, madball, wisdom in chains, Murphy's Law. In the park, according to the mayor, they said, you can do it. There will only be 200 people. I believe over 3,000 people showed up. The moshing was intense.
But it just made me
Coming up on the show, we've got some train of thought. How about that?
out the lights. Don't try to save me.
What else do we have?
You made
Napalm Death,
all I know what you made.
Municipal Waste, double shot of Live Motorhead from 2012.
Remember how I found you there.
A little obituary.
Electric chair. I
Terror
told you
Dome.
dirty jokes until you smiled.
We've got some Slayer. We've got some Black Flag. We've got some RKL. We've got some Ringworm. We've got some Death. Veloza. You heard of Veloza?
Joys of madness for a while.
Body Count, of course. Raging in the Simulation.
Think
How about the Vandals?
years you tried to find someone to satisfy,
This thrash band where these guys all wear red pants. I forgot. Chronosphere.
as you say.
Triple shot of Terrifier.
Easy then
If you want to hear, absolute impeccable, what I would describe as perfect thrash metal, it is album Weapons of Thrash Destruction by Terrifier. Go check it out.
I may be crazy.
Little Wasted Riders, speed rock and roll, of course. You ever heard of Sculpted coming in?
It's too late to find.
Somebody with a really scary video. I forgot what their name is. There's Lamb of God. Who else is on here?
You may be wrong for all I know, but you may be right.
How about this little Billy Joel action, huh? No, maybe Sunday is the day to do the show. No, you connect with the Spirit of the Lord with the entirety of your breath, realizing that the very amount of duration of your entire physical life is as equal to the duration found in eternity, because the smallest of the parts is equal to the whole.
May be right. I may be crazy.
Have we started yet?
Hey, but it just may be a lunatic you're looking for. Check out the lights. Don't try to save me. You may be wrong. I know you may be right.
I hope that was not too loud. Sometimes I get excited. It sounds great in my headphones. When I listen to it, it smells like 10 pounds of smashed assholes. Great band name, by the way. What's up? We're 10 pounds of smashed assholes. This show bed is so long, it's taking a while to just hit play. Take a deep breath. The amount of silence you will be experiencing is the amount of silence that's possible, because what we know about mathematics is that silence equals silence. And that's why silence does not equal violence. I also could have pushed play. Raging in a simulation, folks. A little bit of Russian vodka. Shout out to CJ from Death Threat for sending this over. Jack one. Russian vodka. Russian vodka. Russian vodka. No, I'm telling you right now, I made the most incredible. It was a pork chop. I cut in half, put some prosciutto in there, and a little bit of what was that cheese called? And then you sear it on a pan 4 minutes in each side. Then you put it in the oven 14 to 16 minutes, maybe some asparagus with a little bit of garlic, olive oil, some Mrs. Dash, various spices, and you do it in an entire blackout and forget that you ate it. Anyways, according to the empty bone in the trash, it was really good. Get it? Check what? The lovely Shannon put together the pre-show mix that you're listening to right now. And I'm not going to know all these bands. I'm not. Let's see. New Jersey man sues Dunkin' franchise employees over scalding hot coffee spill report. I mean, no, it was a hot coffee spill. Here's the report. It's from Fox Business. Instagram star cat dies from injuries after a boy trips on his leash. No, I heard the headstone just said gravy train. Is that true? Alternative juror talks about the Chauvin trial verdict and testimony that, quote, really got to me, unquote. Nothing says mistrial like all of the things that went wrong during this trial. If you thought the murder was bad, just wait till the mistrial is declared. And people are going to lose their effing minds. You know, how about that AZ audit? You guys into that, huh? Remember when Donald Trump told us that the coronavirus could be killed by ultraviolet light? And then the media said that he told everyone to drink bleach. Remember that? Because they pretended not to know that UV light was a disinfectant. And they ran with the bleach hoax the same way they ran with the fine people hoax. Do you remember that? Well, here in this audit in Maricopa, they are shining ultraviolet light at the ballots to see if there were any faked paper ballots sent in for the election.
Broken and bleeding.
Am I supposed to be snapping?
Every stone.
Raging in the simulation on Denver's Top Iconic Rock. Sorry, if that was peaking your stereo, I hope you're able to fix it. I get excited. The mosh hits, and all you can do is stage dive feet first into somebody you hate. Did you see that knockout last night? Dear God, that dude's right. Straight down Broadway and knocked that guy into tomorrow. According to Dana White, quote, people seem like they're a lot happier down here in Florida than they are in some of these other effing states. Everybody's doing their thing down here and living their life, and because the government of Florida was just talking about what an amazing relationship they now have with the UFC, where the UFC can go from one free American Florida city to another and tear apart the new normal. Oklahoma passes law protecting drivers who kill or hurt rioters. That's according to NBC News, and they're not lying to you. Spanish cannibal accused of killing mom and then feeding her to the dog. Well, that sounds very aggressive. No, I was wondering why the dog had put on weight. Texas hospital system first to require all employees to get the COVID-19 vaccine. The U.S. released the percentages of healthcare workers who are opting to embrace their choice of whether or not they have a medical procedure. And when in the entirety of human reality did the choice of whether or not you wanted to take or not take a vaccine, your simple desire for choice, lumps you into anti-vaxxer community when they are entirely two different communities. Man accused of bugging Assange and his lawyers in exchange for payments from Trump financier Sheldon Adelson arrested in Spain. Suspected attempt to flee the country to be brought before the court on Monday. That's in Portugal. And that is according to WikiLeaks, so that's probably true. Couple who kept a tourist as a slave in their home for 3 years made vile threats to stop her from leaving Australia and hired a private investigator when how much money do they have? Honey, have you seen the person we have chained to the wall downstairs? No, we do care a lot. We send the very best. Quincy, that's right. Marcus Welby? Raging in the simulation. Take a deep breath. None of this is real. I mean, or maybe it is. No, we do care a lot. You know who cares a lot about you and your social media history? It's the U.S. Postal Service. Postal Service is running a covert operations program that monitors American social media posts. In what America is that allowed? Think about that. We already have a setup in the Five Eyes community where 4 countries can legally spy on Americans because the United States is not legally allowed to spy on all the Americans. So what they did is the same thing, but instead of going to Australia and New Zealand and England and Germany and France is probably in there screwing things up. Yeah, they're just asking the United States Postal Service. Idaho Senate passes bill allowing 90% of the state's wolves to be killed. I do not know which Michael Kruse, Kruse on Twitter. I don't know where he got this from. It says, the next generation dash, the Harvard Institute of Politics is out this morning with a new poll of 18 to 29-year-old Americans. Some of the results are fascinating. Biden has the highest favorability among this group of any first-term president over the 21 years this poll has been conducted. No, the poll was so beautiful. I heard George Bush spent the morning painting it. 56% of young Americans are hopeful about the... Are you hopeful about the future? I am. 72% of black people and 69% of Hispanic people, young Americans, are more politically active than they used to be. There has been a big increase in progressive views, okay? No, we care so much, we were willing to prove how much we cared by giving all of our rights away. But you realize that Apple came out with a new product? It's a little tag, and you can put it on things in case you're prone to losing them. I suggest the first thing we put it on is the Bill of Rights. Can we all agree? Jack Nicholson's foam axe prop used in The Shining, it's being sold for £45,000, according to Sky News. Climate activists dump cow poop at the White House to protest Biden's climate plan, according to True Pundit. I'm telling you right now, if 25 women show up with 25 pink wheelbarrows, you better run. There was so much horse shit, I thought it was an episode of Rachel Maddow. Uber driver in critical condition after mob attack in Queens. Oh no. Oh, I heard the last thing he saw was 5 stars. Get it? Get it? According to The Sun, bag of bargain, secret hack to get 50% off IKEA furniture and some items that are already built. Looking for a new start. No, I heard in the back there is a discount New World Order that they can't get anyone to accept. Look, go on the Facebook page right now. You can find a phenomenal meme, of course, at the John Toll Facebook page. I believe it's a Grand Old Memes. I believe that's it's behind this one. It is one Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones. You remember that when he had the bag of sand? Because he was describing what a tit felt like. Anyways, he had this bag of sand and he's replacing it with the gold relic. It's that, except COVID is the relic and climate change is what he is replacing it with. Because, folks, you realize there was a time, you guys believe in eclipses, right? Lunar eclipse, solar eclipse, total eclipses of the heart. You get it. Anyways, there was a time when the people figured out using complex science that they had the foreknowledge of that, and because they had the foreknowledge of it, they were able to create narratives on the ground before it happened and then use the natural event that they had awareness of to control the masses. Nothing has changed, ladies and gentlemen. As we near the end of this great cycle, as we go into our final Earth wobble, there's going to be chaotic weather. They're going to call it climate change. They're going to call it global warming. And then they're going to say that treading water to save your life is racist. Couple planned wedding at a Florida mansion, and no one told the owner, uh-oh. That's right. Woman ends up in the hospital. This is according to metro.co.uk. Suffering a never-ending orgasm from a quickie. It was very physically, emotionally, and mentally taxing. You ever come for 4 days straight wearing a mask? that doesn't have a zipper across the mouth? Get it? Okay. Monster truck carries the casket of rapper DMX to his memorial service in New York, according to Sky News. Did you watch it? Rest in peace, DMX. Rest in peace, Carl LeBove. As Carl confidently stepped through the veil to see Sam, Ronnie Shock, Bill Hicks. Don't be a pussy. Step through the veil. Sing along. I was a door guy in La Jolla there at the Comedy Store. True story. Carl LeBove walks up to me. He says, John, how many people do you think are in the showroom right now? And I said, I don't know. He looked at me and he goes, I'm going to count them. It's going to give me something to do. And as a brand new comic, I was barely had any funny, let alone being so funny that I could disconnect my mind and count human beings while I was murdering. I don't think I could do it now, and I'm good. Kinda. Sometimes. Mostly. True story, last night, we did a comedy show in Goldsboro. If you want to know what white privilege is, a woman left the comedy show because they did not have ranch dressing. That's a true story. Anyways, when Carl LeBove got off stage after murdering for an hour, he walked by me and he goes, 138. One time in the old Fort, remember the old Fort Worth hyenas, those walls would shake. Carl LeBove went in to do a guest spot, and I am somehow middling after that. We were digging out of a hole it was a crater. In 7 minutes, he had the walls were erupting, and that was a room when you got it rocking, it rocked. So God bless you, your friends and your family. Our prayers are out to all of us humans here struggling against the totalitarian technocrats taking your freedom from us. TLC's Extreme Sisters, starring Aussie twins who share a boyfriend. Come on down. I don't want to say these broads are hard to look at, but if you added them up together, that's like a 4.5. If I look down, it's also a 4.5. Get it? According to the Mirror, brave have-a-go hero fights off a machete-wielding burglar with a plank of wood. How about that? You run from a knife. Which one do you... No. Do you run towards the knife and then you run away from the gun? Or do you run towards the gun and away from... you run towards the gun, you run away from the knife. When they eventually use, and I'm talking about the activists online, when the activists online try to see if they can get away with, the cop let the person assault the other person because the cop wanted, do you think they're going to try that? And do you think it's going to work?
Who copped that merchandise? Who killed that courier? Tell me, who did it? Who's in charge of this whole setup? Who's in charge? Come on, punk, give it up. Give it up. I don't know. But you'll never like the rest of those 8 dudes out there just laying with your face in the gutter.
another story from the Mirror. My family all refused to attend my wedding because they hate the groom.
It's time for change to forget the past, to see the world for what it's worth. Hard times be keeping you down, but won't last. Too much time.
Fatal overdoses among black Philadelphians soared during the pandemic, according to new data at Inquirer.com in Philly. You have to realize that they knew with the lockdowns that these things would happen. It's not like they didn't know in advance what was going to happen when they decided to inhumanely lock down human beings in a free society. They knew exactly what was going to happen in it. In fact, they were so forward-thinking in it that in Klaus Schwab's Great Reset, they said we had to reset the world because we have an increasingly angry society. Which is true. They're waking up, and we're all waking up to the fact that we are run by psychopaths who do not give a shit about us. No, I know. Well, I broke into the USPS database, and I was reading other people's tweets. Credible City meeting video shows woman demanding she be called a doctor and expulsion ensues. That happened here in North Carolina. Who do you think got expelled? I'll give you a hint. It wasn't the doctor. Most harm, Jill Biden. How about all